So, this is Sky King's Tomb. This is our Tuesday night live play. Hope you're ready for some excitement, some enjoyableness. Tonight's title is Invitation to the Festival. Don't worry, everyone. I did fix that before I did the live. I forgot that was the title I'd already put in here. So let's begin with a little bit of information. And we're doing this old school. I have the actual book here, actual Adventure Path book. Because I get those all the time. And sometimes it's just nice to go from the book for a little bit of it. So, listen on. Tradition shapes dwarven culture, and no family in High Helm embraces their cultural heritage quite like Clan Talor. Considered the historians of the Five Kings Mountains, Clan Talor preserves and studies the past with an eye for how it comes alive in the present. Clan performers recreate legends through puppetry shows and immortalize prior ages' artifacts in public museums, as well as share resources with non-dwarven societies. Members regularly sponsor scholars, ancient beings, and anyone hoping to uncover their lost heritage. Our characters are some of these sponsored guests. We'll allow them to introduce themselves here momentarily. Each of our characters in some way has contact or a sponsor who has invited them to the clan's upcoming Family Festival, a celebration for strengthening bonds between one's family, both of blood and of choice. Let us begin with our introductions, starting in the top left of our screen with... No.
Not ready yet.
Okay. How much more do I have to talk before you're ready? Do I have to talk about the dwarven cultures of Ihelm? We have a time limit you could possibly give me?
Start with someone else.
But I have an order. I like order.
We will have order.
Eric, go first.
Right.
Eric's going like, I don't like going first either.
No, but it's fine. So, you would see a very spindly, very thin, scholarly-looking gentleman wearing a odd breastplate. A little bit too bright for what his demeanor seems to exude. He has kind of curly, well-shapen brown hair, the color of dark jungle oak, with the front of it seeming to be a little bit lighter, like that bark had taken a wound at some point and sap had begun to spill out. He appears well put together. He has a dagger on his hip, supplies on his back, as if he had spent all of his life in the caverns beneath High Helm. This character is a explorer. He's a researcher. He's here to find out everything Dwarven history has to uncover.
All right. We will go to Pat then.
That's just gonna read. Pat will be playing Baradun Boulderfist, the cleric of Bolka. He follows as gray is the beard, but the brown eyes still shine with a youthful vigor. His stance is not tall, but broad and stoic. Holy weapon in one hand, shield on the other, he portrays neither a threat nor an easy target. Life is as precious to him as avarice is to the greedy. None shall fear falling while he is on watch, and has here a point, for the Lady Bolka guides him to be her hands on the mortal plains. His passion to heal is as strong as his will to fight for those unable to. His desire to be the best he can is spurred by the memory of his one true love, Burka, who was snatched from his side by an unspeakable plague early in their marriage. He feels he must be worthy to stand beside her in the golden halls of the afterlife.
Not to interrupt too much, but Pat, is everyone important to this character's name start with a B?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, cool.
My next character, everything will be C's.
Amazing.
Would you possibly move closer to your microphone? You're cutting in and out as you talk.
It was a beautiful intro, though. Wow.
Okay, is that better? I was trying to talk louder since I knew I was sitting back, and my back hurts if I sit up too long, so.
Yeah, I lost parts of it, so that's why I was asking.
Okay.
And since we're videoing and putting on YouTube, I don't have the control to control each person's voice, unfortunately.
Okay.
We go to Alexis.
Amazing. Ancestor Solid Works was forged from the white-hot flames of the eternal furnace. You can see that running through her veins. Molten lava drips past her forehead into long braids sinking just beneath her shoulder blades. Her cracked skin was that of a volcanic stone, a gray-blue that you can see cracking with every swing of her impressively massive hammer that she calls corporate, the bane of innovation. The only thing bigger than her hammer is her heart, to her great annoyance. And despite her best and greatest attempts, children seem to flock to her for reasons unknown. Brass armor has been electroplated with quartz, giving it that chromatic sheen. And that's Ancestra.
And we finish with Evelyn.
All right, so Poppy, she is a half elven woman. She has red hair that she wears up. And she is a wizard. And she is often very well put together. And that's all I have, really. So.
All right. As I said previously, each of you, in one way or another, has contact with someone in Clan Talor to be a guest of theirs for the festival. To your patrons' bemusement, though, you have arrived in Highhelm. Or, if you are already there, as someone who lived there, became available earlier than expected. The family festival is scheduled several weeks from now, and the sponsors are busy enough with their typical obligations and festival preparations that they can't begin their collaborations ahead of schedule. As such, you have been secured comfortable lodging for any of those that are visiting at an inn in the King's Heart district. The name of the inn is Zelgin's. Begin. A question. Is anyone from or currently residing in Highhelm?
Hey, on.
Ancestra as well.
All right.
I am not. I was summoned.
So the two of you would have heard from your sponsors that it would behoove you to meet with those that are currently visiting from afar at the inn in Zelgen. At the inn Zelgen. Now, a bit of notes for those that are from there, and Sistra. Zelgen's is an inn that has operated continuously for 2 millennia. As you enter the inn, it's evidence of this time by the shallow ruts worn in the stone floor. Countless footsteps. The inn is currently run by Epna, who owns and maintains the establishment with pride. As you enjoy your breakfast, here is a moment for you to introduce yourselves to one another. The breakfast is, of course, eggs and sausage.
Aeon, being a gentleman of exacts, would have been exactly on time. And when Anestra, I imagine, would get there next, enters the door, he quickly walks up to her and goes, "Hello there, how are you doing? Are you to be on this Delph team with us?"
I am indeed.
Then
I suppose you must be leading the charge, based on how you're dressed.
No. A leader I am not. A friend I am, though. You may call me Aeon. Grass his shield his step.
I am Ancestor Saltworks.
Oh, I've heard your
I'm a
name
Forge
around.
Master's apprentice. Yes, I'm a Forge Master's apprentice. My mother's name is quite big around here.
Yes, I thought I had heard that familiar name. You've done a lot of work around Highhelm. Local, are you not?
Yes. My hammer itself is one of my own creations. You tend to see my own work with that electroplated quartz, this chromatic sheen to it.
Hey,
Tends to mark my own work rather than a signature.
You will forgive me. I am not privy to modern dwarven works. My forte is in the ancient and the unknown. So unfortunately, I had not heard of your weapon, but I cannot wait to see it in action.
Oh, it is impressive, if I do say so myself.
Would you join me for some cold eggs and warm sausage?
Absolutely.
The eggs came out first. I just was not interested in them. I'm sure you can order your own.
I'm more of a bacon fan myself anyway, so.
Unfortunately, they did not have that here. It was only eggs and sausage.
Oh, Epna, we've talked about this.
Oh, I'm sorry, dearie. All we got is sausage right now.
Oh, that's all right. Your smile more than makes up for it, I suppose.
You want a drink with that?
Always.
Edna goes behind the bar, fills up a mug of ale before bringing it over. Here you go. Enjoy
yes,
it.
thank you. Yes, even with her dwarven stature, she quickly sends it and is ready for a second.
Aeon, much less quickly, but he does drink with you. Before a loud thump is next to you, and Aeon pulls out a book and just starts flipping through it. So, next, we're looking for 2 other people, a dwarf and a half-elf. One of them is a researcher and a wizard. The other one, I did not get much information on, but
And a Weezer.
And a wizard.
And a Weezer.
A wizard.
A wizard. Understood.
A
I like the way
wizard.
you say it better, to be honest.
No, thank you, but no, they are a wizard, and the other one is a cleric, and they are to be the two on the team. We were going to have a third, but things got in the way of that. So perhaps later. But right now, these are the characters not the characters, but the friends we are going to have with us on the Delve team.
I have a feeling over there with the giant holy weapon might be one of the folks we're looking for.
I did not get pictures. I just have Uriah gave me a description, and he'll start reading the description of Baradin as he likely walks
great
up.
man. That's the one. Ancestor will wave a hand. Maybe a princess wave.
I'm sorry, did I miss my cue?
No, it's literally right now.
Oh.
Welcome.
I was waiting for somebody to say somebody else walked in. I was listening to the roll.
Hey, somebody else walked in. Look at that.
Oh my goodness.
Could have foreseen this.
Because you guys hear the doors open, and in strides just this amicable looking, looks older to most eyes, but young in the eyes if you stare long enough. And he looks and he walks in and he just kind of looks around, tries to see if somebody's in charge, doesn't, sees the table full of sausage and eggs, drops his sack by the door, and about time I had some breakfast. Walks over to the table, and I totally forgot my accent. Sorry, that's not his voice. That's my standard dwarf voice.
You're in it now, mate. Aeon will turn to you and slide over some sausage. The sausage is still warm. The eggs are not. So,
Well, most eggs don't. It's good to wrap the eggs around the sausage and make their own little buns. And he grabs a couple up and just wraps them in the egg, squishing egg yolks come out every now and then. He just starts popping them in his mouth.
This must be a foreign way of eating it. I must
Good to eat after such a long journey. I don't suppose they got something good to drink here.
Well, if you like ale, that's always a good place to start.
Last, have you known a dwarf who doesn't like a good gin ale?
Not I.
Didn't
I'm sure
think
there'll be a day, though.
well,
And
actually,
he kind of looks at Ancestor a little bit more when he says dwarf, because he kind of sees dwarf, but he kind of really doesn't. And so
Sees fire, yeah.
he doesn't say anything. He just kind of is waiting for you to clarify when he says dwarf. So,
Yes, dwarf. As you can see, I am fire-blooded on my mother. Well, you wouldn't know it was on my mother's side, but fire-blooded on my mother's side. But
Aye,
dwarven to the core.
but you're fey in you.
Certainly fire. I don't know about fae, but something. I believe it's called.
Nothing
Freaks.
wrong with a good hot-blooded woman. He goes back to you.
I can't. I lost you, Pat.
Am I still breaking up?
Yeah,
Sorry.
heavy duty.
I moved it to right in front of me, so
Make sure that your input in Zoom is set to that specific microphone, because I know sometimes it will reset to different microphones, i.e. I've had issues where it resets to my monitors, which have microphones and speakers on them.
I really don't know where that would be, Terry.
Could also be the noise suppression in Zoom if you've got noise suppression.
Yeah, because I can do it.
That's a
Go in
good
your
point.
audio
Where any of
settings.
those settings are would be, so
So the little microphone at the bottom where it says mute, if you use
Yeah.
the little caret, go to your audio settings, and then you can adjust accordingly.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's trying to use my Bluetooth.
Yeah.
There you
How
go.
do go to audio settings?
And then do
There he
microphone.
goes.
And I don't know,
Hopefully
Lexi,
that's
if you
better.
noticed, but you started to freeze up a couple of times. Well,
yes.
so
Yes, you
it's-
did.
I don't know what's going on with your side
Yeah.
either.
I might. Do you expect us to be using Foundry too much today? Because I could pause.
No, it's saying my microphone is the Yeti.
Well, make sure you've got noise suppression off. That's the other big
Yeah.
thing. Because noise suppression will kill anything around you.
Doing background noise
Yes.
noise removal.
Yeah, get rid of all that. As far as Foundry goes, that is entirely up to the group. I don't know whether or not you'll be using Foundry much today because it depends on the choices that you will be making.
Yes.
This is a little more sandboxy than our previous adventure.
It's not letting me take off sound suppression. The Zoom background noise removal is clicked and I can't unclick it, and auto is clicked and I can't unclick it.
So you can switch to a different setting.
Low. I want low, medium, or high.
As far as the sound suppression, I would go with lowest
Yeah.
option.
That being said, I can hear you perfectly fine right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. A twist roll for initiative. Oh, man. Robert, you're looking to kill him off quicker. I see how it is. While that's occurring, and you do see another stranger come in with the description that you
She-
were.
Yes.
Did not come in. She was actually seated in the bar already.
Okay, I didn't know 'cause
behind a large tome.
Anything.
Also, quickly, because I had this joke on hand already, but there is a dwarf that did not enjoy ale during the Mendev War. His name was Belvic, and that was like only a few years ago. So, like, get your shit together.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Berrigan thumps the table and goes, "We don't speak that word."
right. So, the last person we're looking for is going to be a let's see, they were half elven with a shock of red hair. They have a big book, almost enough to hide behind, really. And wait,
Berrigan snorts at you and goes, "There's a book with red hair over there."
that might be the one we're looking for. And Aeon will stand up and kind of knock on the back of the book. Hello.
She'll lower the book ever so slightly.
Are you Pamela Philomena Primrose Pembroke? Did I get that right?
Mostly.
You can call me Poppy.
Poppy. Right. Well, my name is Aeon, and it is a pleasure to meet you. Gracias Shiltis Step is my web marriage name. But the important part is, I think you're the last person we're waiting for the Delve team.
Am I?
Right. Yes. You were friends with Copperfane, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. Yes. Then yes, you're the one that we are waiting on.
Very well.
Would you like some now very cold sausage, or well, some cold sausage and some very, very cold eggs?
I'm quite well, thank you. I actually ate earlier.
Right. Well, of course. Perhaps we should meet with the other two and introduce ourselves properly.
Yes, perhaps. Indeed. Just a moment. And she just sort of snaps her book shut and slides it into her bag.
It is a
Brushes
large
herself off.
Berrigan kind of slides over to Aunt's sister and like nudges her with his shoulder and tips his head over toward Aeon talking to Poppy. He's like, excitable little fella, isn't he?
I suppose that's why they put him in charge of introducing us, no?
I reckon so. Hope they find somebody a little more sturdy to actually be in charge of diving down the delves.
Don't get your hopes up.
I never do. He goes back to eating.
Right. Well, Epna, could we get another round of food over here? And 4 ales?
I only need 3, thank you, though.
she'll nod at you and head back to the bar and pour out all the ales before returning to the table and setting them down.
All right. Well, very good. Poppy, would you mind sitting over here with us, or are you happy over there?
I would be willing to join you. It's fine.
Yes, of course. Let's get the introductions out of the way. As I have said many times, I am Aeon Grasses Schultz's Step, and I will be a part of this Delph team. Now, what exactly we are doing, I don't know exactly, but I suppose we'll figure that out soon.
I would hope so, yes.
It
Ancestral
would be
Sword
nice to
works?
know.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Ladies first.
Baldron, Baradon, Bach.
Ladies first. Go ahead.
Yep.
His
Ancestral
name is
Solid Works.
And Poppy.
And I am Baradun Boulderfist.
Ah,
Well, looks like my book was correct. I'm already losing the accent. Let's get back into that. Right. Well, do we know who we are waiting for?
Not a clue. Just got a letter saying to come here on a matter of urgency.
My friend Rhea told me to come, and that I should get everyone together and make sure you're well fed and well fooded. That way we can move forward as soon as we need.
Joycey? Did somebody say Joycey?
As you are sitting there, in enters a character that, oops, wrong button, that some of you know and some of you do not know, but she looks very much like this. Comes in, and you can tell she's almost quivering with excitement. The crystalline hair shimmers in the common rune's light, and she's running her hands over the walls and tables appreciatively as she moves towards the table that you're at. "It's so old," pipes the gnome as she pulls a taller chair to the table and takes a seat. "That's what I love about Highhelm. The history isn't just in the books, it's in the stones." Her eyes shimmer with awe before she remembers to introduce herself. "Oh, I'm Rhea, curator and preservationist and resident scholar of the occult for Clan Talor. It's a delight to see new faces, especially those taking in the Sky Citadel for the first time." Does anybody have the conservator background?
That's me.
All right. So, she smiles and nods at you. "Well, perhaps you'll have an opportunity to take in Highhelm a second, third, and fourth time, of course. As I understand it, you're all here for the important celebration, collaboration, and camaraderie with the fine folks of Clan Talor. But that's all scheduled for after the family festival, which isn't for a few weeks yet. Might be for the best because..." And she takes several curious sniffs before nodding to herself. "As I thought, Clan Talor is about history, right? You can't just bring a bottle of wine as a gift for the host. No, you need to bring stories. There's barely a whiff of narrative between you." "Not to worry, though," continues Rhea. "Highhelm's swimming with stories to be written and rediscovered. Clan Talor's got your room and board covered, so that leaves you free to get into some trouble." She grins impishly and wiggles in her seat. "Trust me, it's fun. Aeon knows."
Yes, of course.
You see as she...
Question.
You were saying an extra. Sorry.
I'm so sorry. Did you say you could smell a lack of narratives on us? That's
Yes.
fascinating. How do you pick up? What? It's a fantastic skill.
Stories are what I do.
It is not that hard. You ever not pick up a rock and go, smells like this happened in the 3rd century?
I can't say I have, but maybe I should try.
Paradine
Oh.
chuckles and goes like, I bathe to get rid of my smells.
No, you smell like last week.
Well, it's been about a week.
While you all are talking, you might notice, you might not. Rhea has grabbed a spare fork and is trying to steal leftover bits of breakfast.
It's all cold now, but it was very good when warm.
But food is good cold or warm. It's irrelevant.
I'm sorry, lass. I didn't know we were supposed to save any for anyone else.
That's all right. I'll just eat. And she grabs another little crumb off of somebody's plate.
Right, so where should we get our narrative beats? Do you know where we might start?
Oh, well. I mean, kind of gestures with the fork a little bit. Where won't you find trouble? I mean, the Sky Citadel is safe enough, but everyone has their stories and their misfortunes. Share a smile and open your ears, and you'll hear all sorts of opportunities. She, again, gestures with the fork at kind of the half-full common room that you're in. Helps that you're friends of Tolor, which should open some doors. Far better if you build your own reputations, though, as that'll open even more.
I don't mean to be blunt, lass, but I don't believe we were summoned here to just get in trouble. Is there a specific direction of narrative we need to be looking for?
No.
No. Okay.
Aren't you the inquisitive kind? The kind willing to look for things that are interesting? Begin new stories. Find new adventures and... She takes another bite
more
of
of the
somebody's...
following lead.
Hold on. She takes a bite of another piece of food. And make a name for yourself. I mean, I don't know who you are. I know Aeon, but you have a chance here.
Yes, and do not worry, Rhea is a good eye for persons, so she wouldn't have gathered us together if she did not have great faith in us.
Well, I'm not questioning her taste in characters. And I was just curious if there was a specific thing we were brought to find. Or we just scrounge the entire mountain for something that's never been found.
Or just have fun.
Yes, it is a festival.
All right. Yep, I'm already here. There's no sense in fighting it, so he grabs his ale mug and downs it. Lets out a mighty belch and goes like, so where do we get started with this trouble finding?
So, as Rhea mentioned, obviously the room kind of half full of people. It's still morning, so it's not full up as it would be in the evening. Many dwarves do work much during the day, and it's the evenings in the taverns that tend to be full of camaraderie. But within it, you do look around, and you see, there are dwarves in here, humans, halflings, all kind of around at different tables. Highhelm is a fairly large place, so whether you choose to travel is entirely up to you. I guess it's a chance for you to talk to people.
We could go around the city looking at the sites, all the stones. Maybe I'll teach you how to smell history.
That sounds wonderful. It seems like Miss Rhea is suggesting that we ask for stories in this very room. Perhaps catch up on each other's stories
Of course,
as well. Yeah.
it's a good place to start.
It is. Anyways, I will leave you all to it. If you need anything and you know how to get a hold of me, I've got much more to do. So take care of yourselves and you'll talk soon. And you see as she kind of skips out of the inn, leaving you to
Maria.
yourselves.
Right. Who wants to spill the narrative beans? Ooh, should we first draw straws to see who should
Oh,
talk
yes.
first?
Yes.
I have sausages here. It's...
Could just arm wrestle for it. Loser
No.
goes first.
I'll just go first, because I'm the weakest. Look how big and strong all of you are.
Maybe you should arm wrestle Poppy first.
Did you see the book that lady was carrying? It was as heavy as me.
That's fair. Yes. Okay.
All right.
You can start, Aeon.
Let's all roll a d4, and whoever gets lowest has to go first. And they will
What's a
draw
D4?
sausages. No, these
What's a
sausages
D4?
will draw the short sausages.
I'm opening up Foundry because I closed it earlier.
No, it is not good.
So the one without dice gets to go first, right?
Everyone
Yes.
has dice with Foundry.
That's what I'm saying. She doesn't have Foundry open, so she doesn't have dice.
Just you wait.
Yes. We'll wait for 3 more seconds before we lose all of our watchers.
Did you guys roll
Bed,
already?
Rolls a
Yes.
3. And rolls a 3. Poppy rolls a
Oh.
2, and Sistra.
Right. Hello.
And Sistra.
Roll is trying very hard.
Wow.
And Sistra rolls lots of dice.
And sister cheats.
We'll give Sistra a 2 as well.
All right. So you both... Pardon, did you take a bite out of this sausage? Because there's 2 short ones. Okay, he's still eating the sausage. All right, so I'm making the executive decision, which we could have started out with anyways, but Anistra, you go first. Tell us about yourselves. What are your skills? What are your histories?
Yes. So, as I've mentioned previously, I am a Forge Master's apprentice. My mother, similarly, is an Ifrit of blood. So her control over fire has helped her in the Forge, and I have learned the same sort of mastery. I have learned the hard way, though. All the tools that we design are not necessarily used for the purposes we have designed them for. And I would like to prevent that for the future, for my future creations. For how can one consider themselves a great inventor if they are not wise of the world? So that is why I am here, to learn, to discover, to understand what things I may build in the future and the effect they may have on the world around us.
Yes. Well, there's a noble goal. How do you live life on fire?
Quite simply, actually. It just doesn't affect. I mean, you touch me. Does it feel hot to you?
I mean, a little, yes.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's,
Oh, well, that is
just
very...
a different body temperature. It's I don't notice it at all, to be honest.
It is, well, that's actually very good, because I was afraid
Yes.
that like, if you walk into a library, it would be very bad.
Yes, me and libraries are not quite friendly, but I have mostly control, unless I get too passionate, in which case then fires just do kind of combust. It's actually how my mother and father met. Was my mom was working in the shop, had a spark of passion, and there was an unfortunate spontaneous combustion, and my father was a healer, so that's how
Well, no,
they
they...
met. Yes,
Peregrine
so
chuckles at her use of the word passionate.
yes.
That is romantic.
Yes, I thought so as well. You can see my hair is also, it's sort of like molten lava. Right now it's just a casual like red orange. It tends to get a little wilder if I get more passionate, if I get angrier. If
Don't
it's
forget
settled
in the
down, if I'm
fight, stay
calm.
far away.
Yes, well, it also means I'm perfectly incapable of lying because my hair will tell if I tell a false truth. So I just tend not to try to do that because it doesn't help anyone.
Though my hair does not give me away, the heart speaker tells me to tell the truth. So I shall
Yeah,
not.
I don't mind it. Yeah, it could be worse.
Well, thank you for your stories and the narrative beans. Poppy, you drew the second shortest sausage. Did you want to go next?
There's not much to tell. I've written a lot of books and I study, and I will be keeping fair distance from you, my dear. Not to be insensitive, but I have fears that you might set my collection of very rare tomes aflame, and I will be very put out if that was the case.
Put out like a fire.
I will stay very far away from your books.
But yes, I'm currently working on another thesis. I have published a couple. The current one is looking at how various supernatural events have intertwined themselves with various conflicts throughout history, and specifically the role that they played in the events of dwarven culture. It's all very detailed, really, but that's sort of my main focus here, more than
That's
anything.
fascinating, Poppy. That's truly fascinating.
But yes, more of a studier of history than maker of history.
Sounds as if we are two sides of the same coin. While you study things, I go out and get the things for you to study.
Tell me,
Yes.
Lady Pembroke, do you have any other
Just Poppy,
enjoyable
please.
hobbies? I'm sorry.
Just Poppy, please.
Oh, terribly sorry. I was just trying to be polite. So, Poppy, have you no other hobbies of interest other than reading books?
I find reading books a very acceptable hobby.
Aye, to each their own. I was just curious if there were any other interests in your life. If reading books is what makes you happy, then that's what you should pursue. Everyone needs their own form of happiness.
Yes.
Well, since you're already talking, Baradun, you're wearing the symbol of Bolga. Is that your goddess?
Aye, that's my deity. She came to me when I was a young lad and personally helped me to learn how to save the life of a very dear friend of mine. And I've sworn my allegiance to her ever since.
Well,
I go around helping those who cannot help themselves and do my best to see that they're set in their ways without harming others. And if they find a little happiness along the way, then it's not to encourage, right?
it's very noble of you.
Well, I don't know about noble, but it's the right thing to do.
Well, maybe Rio was right. You do deserve a bit of fun. Seems like could be good for you, so I hear.
Oh, I'm not against a bit of fun. I just was curious as to why we were summoned here and then just told to go lollygagging around the city looking for trouble. So I was a little bit confused. I've been summoned to the city before, but it's usually to help them solve riddles of ancient artifacts and things like that, mostly pertaining to Bolka, since that's my area of expertise.
So a note, you were summoned for the festival, but you arrived 2 weeks early.
Yes. So we still have time, and it works out, because there's plenty to do in the meantime. So I guess I'm the last sausage. So, as you've likely heard me say, my name is Aeon, Grass's Shield His Step. The title comes from my web marriage. When I became of age, that is what they called me, because I'm extra super stealthy sneaky. I work for
I don't mean to interrupt you, lad, but could you say your last name a wee bit slower? You've said it like 8 times, and I've never understood it this any time.
It's not my last name. I don't have a last name. My name is Aeon, Grace's shield, his step.
Aye, there we go. That makes more sense.
It is the title of my web marriage. I'm an Adani, if you hadn't heard. I am not human, as you may think I am. I am actually a very man-sized spider. But I take this form to make sure people are comfortable with me, as arachnophobia is very prominent in Galarian these days.
I've heard of your kind before, just never actually met one.
We don't leave the Mwangi very often.
Reason for that.
Because we're big, scary spider people, and not many people like
what
us.
I meant.
But I work for the Ancestral Museum of Dwarven History alongside Rhea. And I am a part of the Delve team, which means I go into the caves all around Highhelm, and I go looking for artifacts, be it skulls or old tools or stones or monster bits, anything that might be useful to bring about more knowledge of Dwarven history. And I'm particularly on the quest of, or rather, I'm on the knowledge path. No, that's not how to say it. I'm researching, there we go, the quest of Sky, of holy balls, Targeek. Not believe I forgot that name. And his quest for Sky. Which is, I'm sure you are all very well familiar with if you're here with us.
Aye.
And Sister is
There's a
obviously
dwarf
very
in the
familiar with
mountain,
this,
I
but
don't.
Alexis might not be.
Yes. Well, Targeek in his quest for Sky, King Targeek was a young man when the dwarves were first leaving the underground, because that is where they were born. And for various reasons, I won't go into right now, they were forced to leave. Because there was a prophecy that they were going to leave, but they faced many issues. And Targeek began to, while he was young, rally his people around him. And it was only through Targeek that we were able to have dwarves with us on Galarian as a whole. And of course, there is many more history to it, but I won't go into that right now, because this is supposed to be a brief synopsis of our own narratives. And I'll let those who are a bit more qualified go over that, because I really just go get the artifacts and let other people, like Poppy herself, research them. Although I do not believe I have worked with Poppy before.
Yes, I actually only arrived late last night, so I was at early this morning. It all kind of blurred together. It was a very long trip.
Yes, of course. Well, the night is the closest thing to morning, so it makes sense. Anyways, so perhaps we should expand our resources, get a bit more of our what is it? We should talk to other people and try and see what their narrative beings are.
If I may, it might be a good idea to split up into teams of 2. That way we capture as much from a single essence, the story of a single person.
Yes.
While still being able to split up and gather as many stories as possible.
We should draw sausages to see whose team's on which.
I already closed Foundry! Alright, so just pick the teams!
Okay.
Her hair turns like an electric blue in that moment.
I'll go with Poppy, and you and Baradun, being the dwarves, will go on your teams.
Right?
Just to
Looks like
verify,
it'll be a hot time in the old town tonight, then.
we're splitting the group, right? Splitting the party.
Yeah,
In the
that's what-
tavern.
Within the
That's what I was
In
getting
the
ready to
tavern.
cheer.
In the tavern, Terry!
Okay, that's fine. Just within
We're
the
not
tavern,
going-
you're splitting the party, right?
Yes.
How big's this tavern?
Big enough.
16 meters.
Big enough to roll initiative? Is that what you're
I don't understand anything but the English units.
Kilometers.
So,
In High Helm, they never taught us metric.
so we'll start with Anne and Poppy. As you look around the tavern, you see there are a variety of people. Many dwarves, of course, as we are indeed in High Helm, but you kind of look around, you see at one table appears to be, as best you can guess, possibly some sort of dwarven hunter. You can see relaxing and just kind of enjoying the morning. In another area, you see a halfling wearing pristine white clothing of what appears to be of a Callistocrat, which is one of Druma's esoteric merchants. You also see what appears to be some sort of painter, artist of some sort. Human though, not dwarven. And then finally you see an older dwarven man sitting at another table. Additionally, a couple of tables have 2 or 3 people enjoying breakfast as well as Epna, who continues to walk around the place.
So, Poppy, would you like to start with the oldest of the team?
No. What do you mean by that exactly?
Well, we're going to go socialize, and there is an old dwarf over there who may know many things.
All right, I'm not much for talking though, so you may have to sort of lead this whole endeavor.
Do not worry. This is why I chose you, because I talk too much.
I think we'll get along just fine then. You do the talking, I'll do the writing of notes. How about that? I'll
It
keep
works for
everything
me.
written down.
Yes. Right. Well, so I will lead Poppy over to the old dwarf. And I will walk over and go, shit! Ipna! 2, 3 ales. Please.
Boy, I'll get those ales for you.
Thank you. And I will turn back to the dwarf and say, excuse me, sir, are we bothering you? And would you mind if we start with you?
Oh, you can sit here. There's not a problem at all.
Thank you for your kindness. And I'll pull up a chair for Poppy and for myself. Right, so I have you an ale coming, because I do not want your throat to get sore. But I would like to ask you, what is your story, friend? Are you native to High Helm, or are you new? We are mostly just socializing to get a better lay of the land.
Perhaps we should start with your name.
Oh, that is important.
He rubs his hands through his beard. Oh, the name's Yolgar. Native, yes. Born and raised here. Done a lot of drinking ale, talking with friends, but I'm a conflict mediator.
Conflict mediator, as in you talk it out or you punch them in the face?
It depends on what's needed. I prefer to talk it out, but most times here at Zelgan's, it ends up with fists, so. But my regular job is to talk things out and try and disarm with what I can of my words. I find it easier that way.
Yes, of course. No need to get the bruises when you do not need them.
What's your name?
My name is Aeon, and this here is Poppy.
Pleasure to meet you.
Now, we wanted to know, do you have any plans for the festival coming up? And are you familiar with the clan Talor?
Of course I'm familiar with Clan Talor. One of the better clans here, and I am. As far as the festival goes, I'm not close with any of them. But I hear it's a fantastic night. weak. Depends on who you are. And he kind of gives you a little punch in the shoulder, and you can feel there's a bit of force to it.
Underneath the armor, there's a bruise. Aeon will turn as Epna brings up the drinks and will kind of pass one to the old dwarf.
He takes it and he drinks it in one swig. Now,
That is impressive.
of course it is. Us dwarves know how to drink even for breakfast. Now, you say you're looking for stories. Am I understanding?
Yes, sir. We were told that we should get the narrative beans, as it were.
The best I can do is give you a rumor.
Rumors are seed of stories. Yes, tell us, please.
Been hearing some things down in Stonebreach. Some miscreants been sabotaging the local stable. Proprietors increasingly convinced that supernatural forces are afoot. If you're looking for a story, maybe a place to go. We'll give you a chance to solve a mystery or two.
And you said that was in Stonebreach, yes?
Of course, yes.
Oh, I do not believe this is a place I have gone to many times. Can you tell me any more about Stonebreach?
Well, you're not from High Helm, then.
Not originally. I've spent time here, but mostly in the underground caverns.
Well, you gotta understand. High Helm split into 4 different levels. Up top, you got King's Crown. Then you got King's Stonebreach below. Of course, that's where you enter High Helm. And then the depths below it all.
The second level cut out on your mic.
Yes.
Stonebreach. Oh,
No.
King's Heart.
If I can only type like a human being. All right. King's Crown,
Don't
King's
worry,
Heart,
Eric,
Stonebreach.
I actually in character have been taking lots of notes, so don't you worry.
Amazing. So Stonebridge is when we enter. Awesome. Amazing.
It's
And you
where
said-
everybody enters.
Yes.
Unless they're from here. It's a rancher from Clan Gelderon. Believe his name is Hector Beatsmith.
Did you spell that?
Hector's EKTAR.
You got it right.
Beatsmith. BEET. Smith.
And which clan was he with?
Clan Gelderon.
So supernatural things happening in Stonebridge. And you said it was proprietors for shops, yes?
Was what?
But where was the supernatural things happening? Sorry.
Oh.
In the
You
inside
don't
of Stonebridge.
listen much, my my boy. Listen very
Sorry.
carefully, and I'll try and take it slow.
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Yes. So, and actually, if you don't mind, he said there was some rumors coming out of Stonebreach. Some miscreants were sabotaging the local stables. Merchants think supernatural forces are afoot, and if we're looking for a mystery, it would be a good thing to look into. Did I have that correct?
You did. Beatsmith is the proprietor. The one
Thank
I
you
just said. From the
Thank you so much.
clan.
Yes, no, I got that now. Thank you very much. Just double checking because my hearing is not the best. But
It's
thank you
okay.
so much for your time.
No, thank you for the 2 ales you bought me.
I only brought the. Oh, okay.
Well, that's going on. Baradin and Sistra, what are you two doing?
I believe you said that there was an artesian of sorts.
There-
That could be.
Yes. A human looks to be a artist of some sort. Yes.
Would you like to take the lead on this one?
Oh, no. I'm not much of a social person.
Right.
More of a background support.
All right. Sometimes I'm bad at keeping track of notes, but I'll take front on speaking. But I could, help with remembering details is always nice. Wasn't ever much of the scholarly sort. Okay. Excuse me. Hello. We're actually going around collecting stories, and we were wondering if you would be willing to share some of your own.
Yes, lad, you.
Yes, you.
You're talking to
twitching?
me.
I sure am. You seem
Who are
like an interesting
you?
sort of
Who-
fellow.
What's your name?
My name is Ancestor Swordworks. I am a Forge Master's apprentice. And this here is my friend, Baradon.
Dune.
Baradun. We
What?
just met.
Hi there. My name is Queerazia.
Is your name
You're
is
so
Queer?
funny. I didn't laugh at your damn name.
I'm sorry, could you say that?
Baradun.
It just caught me off guard. I'm sorry. I was trying to write
He
it.
looks back over at Azastra. What can I do for you?
Well, if you have any stories to share, you seem like someone who has a good ear, a good eye for detail. Have you seen anything around the city that might be of note for stories? Anything in your own life? Anything recent?
Of course
Come
I
on,
have an eye
Tell us
for
a story with
detail.
your words or your arts, whatever you have.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna keep talking, aren't you?
No,
You keep going. I can listen all day.
it's your turn to speak.
Quiet.
I'm just uncomfortable in silence. I'm just filling the blank space.
You're still talking.
I'm a painter. I spent years traveling and illustrating the greatest wonders Avestan has to offer. Grew up in Magnamar, but made my way here. It's been lovely. Although honestly, what I'm extremely excited for is the upcoming Basilisk game. I get to root for the
Basilisk?
fighting fire pelts again. Yeah, the Basilisk game. You ever seen a Basilisk game?
Say as I've have. Not one into sports that much.
Oh, I'm super excited. Those of us that are fans, well, let me rephrase it. Fans of the team here are a bit distressed because High Helm star player Welkis Stonefist, well, he departed on parental leave a month earlier than expected. And they have an imminent match against an old rival. They're trying to recruit a replacement. I have it on good authority if they don't get one, my team will take the win. It's the Fighting Fire Pelts if you're curious.
It definitely was curious.
Stonehelm versus the Fightins.
What exactly is the purpose of this game? How does it play?
What do you mean, what's the
They
purpose?
kick basilisks around, or
Oh, my dear boy, no! No, it's a competitive sport. The 8 players on each team, they try to score points by placing a head-sized ball into a round goal. Now, there are complications, of course. Players all wear special helmets, and whoever holds the scoring ball must deploy an opaque visor. And they have to rely on their teammates' words to move around, navigate to the goal. Meanwhile, there's a second smaller ball that can only be handled using handheld basket scoops. That gets passed around and hurled, with anyone struck by the basilisk having to freeze in place. It's quite exciting.
unironically, I want to play this in real life.
I really want to play
Hey.
this right now.
Did you say it was a stone ball?
No, why would it be a stone ball?
No, I'm out of character. All I heard
Never out
there's
of
two different
character.
kind of balls.
It's a smaller ball. So you have a head-sized ball and a smaller ball.
I got you. I apologize. Like I said, I'm not one for sports, so I'm kind of...
Well, it's exciting knowing Relkez won't be available. Well, exciting for me, of course.
Do you have any idea who they might replace?
I
This
haven't been
player
able to
with-
find anyone yet.
Hmm. Okay.
Hopefully it stays
interesting.
that way.
So if he's not replaced, they have to forfeit?
Well, they play a man down, but in a game where you're blind for much of it, being a man down can be quite difficult to pull out to win.
Hey,
Where's the
Alright.
do you happen to know where the home stadium is for the Stonehelm? You said that was the first team.
Basilisk.
Oh, of
Stonehelm.
course. The stadium itself is in King's Crown.
aye. At the top.
Well, if we catch any good gossip, we'll be sure to bring it right back to you.
Is the game free admission, or do you have to purchase some
No,
form
I'm
of
sure you have to pay to get in, but
admittance?
I guess good luck with the fight-ins. Do you have any other stories for us?
No, that's the only thing I've heard of.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. Querzil?
You were close, my dear. It's Querzia.
Querzia. Okay. Well, thank you so much. We will be collecting other stories, and of course, we'll keep you updated. Good day.
Good day to
Sprint
you
away.
too, my dear.
Well, that was fun.
Yes.
And a quick note for
Okay.
those watching at home, you can find information about Querzia and Yolgar, as well as Epna and Rhea, on our Legend Keeper link, which I will share with you right now. Those
Let's
characters
go!
are already in there, so you can take a look at them and the images that we have pulled for them as well. While we're there, we're going to go ahead and take our one and only break of the evening. A couple of pieces of information have been gathered by our wonderful characters, and there's more to find out, but it'll be up to the characters to find out that information.